Justice Clark's going to do a better job than I did with the PowerPoint.
We're saving the best for last, and so when we finally get to Commission Chair Buck Lewis, he's going to tell you all the exciting things, because it is the Commission that we empowered to lead us and to recommend where we needed to go. But I'll begin, before we get to him, by telling you that once the court committed to do this, we said and we meant that every one of us believed in it. Every one of us would do everything in our power to implement the recommendations, that it wouldn't matter who the chief was, and we're now on our third chief. You saw the picture of Gary Way, that no matter who was in charge, we all would go forward. And so we began by encouraging aspirations, and we reminded lawyers of this, that our Rule 8 already said, and has since its earliest adoption, said all lawyers should devote time and resources to ensure equal access to our system of justice for those who can't afford or secure adequate counsel. And so we said, we want you to aspire, but we want you to remember that it's your obligation. The privilege that you have to practice law is a great privilege. It allows you, if you work hard, to make a good living, and in return you have to give back. And so we created an aspirational goal that lawyers should aspire to provide 50 hours of pro bono service a year. That works out to about 1 hour a week. And we have worked in every way that we can to elevate the aspiration and to help people buy into that concept. And we are pretty unabashed about how we go about that. And so we have changed a number of rules. If you get the disc, you'll see all the rules we've changed. We're going to talk about just a few today. But we started with voluntary reporting. Asking lawyers when they have to fill out their forms each year and send in their registration amounts, that they report what they've been doing. It remains initially confidential unless you agree to give it up. So we aggregate the numbers. We don't report by individuals' names, but it helps us know what you are willing to report that you are doing. We also said we're willing to give you back something. We're willing to give CLE credit, 1 credit hour of professionalism and ethics credit for every 5 hours of pro bono legal representation that folks are spending. We can't offer money, unlike on our criminal indigent defense system. We can't pay dollars for this representation, but this is what the court can try to do to make it easier for people to aspire to devote pro bono time. We also said, and we are really right now beginning the formal method of recognition of attorneys for justice. And so planning is going on right now, and I think early this fall we're going to begin a tour of the state, and we're going to recognize attorneys, individuals, law firms, offices, including governmental offices, where they have given 50 hours of service, or where the attorneys in an office have averaged 50 hours of service. And we're also going to honor law students. And we are so pleased that our law schools have been so receptive to this, and that they are really in many ways leading the way to help us understand and create these aspirations and encourage people to include them. This is such an award, just a little picture of what we will be doing. We also said we want to find ways to give more attorneys an opportunity to do this. And so we changed our rules a little bit to allow more limited scope representation, so that lawyers can, in the right circumstances, agree to help individuals with particular parts of the lawsuit without committing to be in the lawsuit from start to finish, and can give them specific information and operation in a legal clinic setting. We changed some of our rules of civil procedure to allow more unbundling, again, that allows a lawyer to participate in parts of an ongoing legal matter without being committed to the attorney-client relationship from beginning to end. We changed our rules, and we actually went to the legislature and got some statutes changed so that government attorneys can participate in pro bono work. Generally, lawyers in the state of Tennessee who work for the government are prohibited from practicing law in the court system. And we're not trying to change that altogether, but if those persons want to participate in legal clinics and give advice, which might require from time to time an actual appearance in court. Then with certain restrictions and guidelines and supervision, we have allowed folks to be able to do that, including our own staff attorneys and law clerks and others inside the judicial system. We have further changed our forms, and we had already begun a process of implementing universal forms in some areas of the law, and we are continuing that process. And we've been joined in that process by folks like the General Sessions Judges Conference, who on their own said we'd like to develop some forms, and who worked to do that and worked with the commission to approve them. We've even said that emeritus attorneys, folks who have retired under certain circumstances, can come back and re-register and be involved. We have said that corporate counsel and in-house counsel who otherwise are not practicing law and are not held to exactly the same licensing requirements may be able to participate and to be involved in what we are doing. And we are really excited about that, and I'll just tell you that our ability to try to encourage and to remind people that this is an aspiration, but it's also a responsibility, is limited only by the ways that we can think to do that. And with a great commission like the one we have, I'm sure they're going to keep coming up with ways that we can encourage lawyers. Okay?